Yo, what up, dogs? Steve here, and welcome to another commentary. And that's right, I've been robbed. You have been robbed. We have all been robbed, but mostly me. And let me tell you the story on why I became robbed. I was sitting at home. I was using this lab, the same build that you're seeing on screen for this entire video. I was playing at home. It was a late Saturday night, and I was playing with my friend Kali, and I looked over, you know, just making sure, like, shit, I was starting to hit some cool clips, you know. I had a couple of drinks in me. I was vibing, kind of, you know. And I looked over, it's like, oh, that's the shadow play icon up in the right corner. It's got my back, right? It's got my back. Because I hadn't sorted out OBS with the replay buffer, so I was just counting on shadow play. And I kept playing for a while, and then I looked down in the corridor in terminal, and I hit a goddamn triple with the lab. And I was so hyped, you know, for like a split second until I realized that, oh, Shadowplay icon is gone. I looked over at Shadowplay. You got my back, right, Shadowplay? It didn't have my back. It basically stabbed me right in the back. And that feeling of, you know, for a couple of seconds, I was like, holy shit. I hit a triple with a lab. I never thought I'd do it. This gun is kind of ass, but it's still kind of fun to use. Now I hit a triple. Now I never have to play with this gun ever again. I was so pumped. I looked over. I didn't get the clip saved. And that feeling of being robbed of something beautiful in my life is literally what happened to the entire Call of Duty community this past week. So, a little bit of backstory. There was a development team. They made a mod called the H2M mod, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too much about this. I just saw it on YouTube, on FaceScope. He had uploaded some gameplay, and I was like, this looks awesome. I started checking out a little bit on Twitter. I've honestly been off social media for a couple of weeks because I've been just freaking out and stressing out and getting FOMO, a bunch of, you know, just not feeling great using social media. So I kind of took a break, and I went back in, and I was like, holy shit, there's a mod. They made it out of, I'm not sure how it technically kind of works, but they made a mod inside of Call of Duty Remastered, which came out 2017. And also, by the way, 2017 feels like 90 years ago by this time. Isn't that crazy? It's only what? Okay, it's like 8 years ago? 7 years ago? Holy crap. Well, it came out during that time, so they made it with this mod, and they pretty much, this development team, which is independent from Activision or any other Activision-owned studio, they just made it, and literally, it was like there were, if they had a board meeting, I don't think they had, but they literally put in every single thing that a Call of Duty gamer wanted from, like, OG Call of Duties. It had the Barrett, it had all the cool maps, people running around sniping in private lobbies, and I got so excited when I saw it. But then I looked over, and just as I looked over at Shadowplay, and I was like, you got my back, right, when I'm hitting this triple, I looked over and I started to realize, like, hey, Activision, you have our backs, right? Are we gonna be allowed to play this? But no, we were robbed. We were robbed, and they sent a cease and desist to the development team. And I'm gonna be honest, as I said, I still don't know that much about the team. I just knew that the game looked awesome, and I wanted to get into it. There was even like a bot in the game that was named tejbz, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait, I'm gonna play the shit out of this. But in the back of my head, I always had that like feeling like this is too good to be true, you know, like how is Activision letting this happen? And because I feel like, you know, I'm not sure how it works. It's business stuff or whatever, whatnots, you know, that they're trying to keep up. So I don't know. I got distracted, by the way, by that no-scope. That was so cool. So they basically sent a cease and desist the day before the mod was supposed to fully be released. And that left such a sour taste in everyone's mind. Like, every single person who enjoyed the Call of Duty was, like, excited for this mod. And I feel like the PC gaming community was just gonna rally around. By the way, that name throwback is crazy. I don't know if you saw that, but everyone was just kind of like vibing, so positive about playing it. But I'm gonna be honest, all the time in the back of my head, I was constantly just thinking, like, this is too good to be true. And, like, how can big conglomerate Activision kind of let this one slide? And the sad thing is, obviously, they didn't. And here's the thing, though. I feel like if I want any chance in the future to do stuff with Activision about Call of Duty, like, I cannot believe how some people are acting on the internet, like they're literally like sending death threats to the social media manager over at like Call of Duty. Like, that person had no decision in this. This was like business high up, some legal department were just waiting. But with that said, the timing is eerily awful if you consider that the game was on sale, and the day that they sent like the cease and desist, which was also the day before the game was supposed to come out, that's when like the sale for the game that you needed, Call of Duty Remastered, that's when the sale of that ended. So it's just awful. It's just so awful. And it kind of like what it boils down for me is just that we can't really have nice things. But I'm also not super surprised that they had to do that, because I feel like that game would have probably taken over, you know, every single Call of Duty player would have just gone over and played that H2M mod, and they wouldn't have made a dime. So that is a little bit unfortunate. It actually sucks balls that we can't play it. But that's what I'm gonna say. So my dear hope for the team that made that game is just that they stay strong, they make something great. But my absolute biggest dream is that Activision kind of grows a pair and buys up the mod and releases it themselves so we can play it legally. Because please, for the love of God, I really, really want to play it, but I'm not gonna go on Twitter and say that Activision sucks balls or whatever. I get it, it's business, but it freaking sucks. It sucks in the same way that I forgot to boot up OBS and start the replay buffer, so I would have had that triple. And Activision, do the right thing, buy the mod, release it as like a DLC or something. We will literally pay you. And also, please make sure that the guys who developed the mod actually gets a little bit of, you know, credit for all the time they spent making this incredibly looking mod. So that's kind of my takeaway. I'm not surprised, but I am obviously very sad. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and check out the lab. Take care, guys. Bye.